All right, good morning, folks. What's going on in the hood, the double hood, the triple hood? You know what time it is? Game time. Wait, hold on. Where's my cafe? Give me a sec. Oh, there it is. All right, all right. We're in the game, people. Let's go. How's everybody doing? It's a Buenos. Hey, we got a gap up today with the Nvidia earnings and a couple other things. Things have been holding up pretty good. You know, after the big dump off, we came down into the lower Bollinger Band, which is a classic, right? Classic kind of bounce setup, oversold. Now, what's going to happen though is we're at a key spot. So we're going to open up pretty close to yesterday's highs, and we'll have to see how we react around there. We don't necessarily know yet. It'll take a little bit of finessing to get there. Couple things to be mindful of is we're in a high range, volatile environment due to the news flow and many other things happening. So when we are popping here, into these pops, right? Like yesterday, the market looked great. It could look like it could have been an all day long trender, but we're not in that phase of the market. To get those kind of all day long trenders, right? You need to be more in this kind of Goldilocks zone where you're trending up. Whenever you're under your MAs, especially if they start to curl down, when you get the big bounces in the market, it can be any moment where the boogeyman comes out and flushes off the market. So yesterday, for example, we're looking pretty good, and then right the Trumpster comes out. He's like, "Hey guys, this euro trash, they're getting the tariffs, okay?" And boom, right? Next thing you know, and look, this tariff thing, it comes out like every couple days. It's like, yeah, we already know. We get it. Yeah, the tariffs are coming. We get it, right? But the market keeps reacting to it. Even though, right, it is kind of old news. And that just happens, in this phase of the market cycle too. So just be kind of mindful here. We're going to open up into resistance. And look, we may even bust through and have a little nice trender, but the boogeyman's always around the corner. And then, of course, they gap it up the next day, anyways, right? And so you're into that kind of volatile environment where it's tricky to hold stocks for more than an hour or two. It's tricky to hold stocks for more than an hour or two, so you just got to take your quick hitters and then, go. For example, right, we were balls deep in this meta yesterday, from the open, right, at the 662. I think I had the 670 calls at $5, and they run to $15, right? And then it's like, right, you just get this 15, 16 point drop right out of the, into the close. And then right now you're opening right back into them. So you're going to get this kind of, action going. Hey, we'll take what we can get. It's if you're a scalper, this is a nice little day trader's dream. If you're like more of a buy and holder type, right, or if you're just into really anything else, right, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot different. So be mindful of this stuff. We're in a volatile environment, but it's got a tradable range. Now today, the big news of today is right that Nvidia has come out. They've had their earnings and a fairly muted reaction. The numbers themselves probably looked fairly okay in terms of growth and all of this kind of stuff. But it may not matter. Everybody already knows, right, that Nvidia is a grower, not a shower, and it was off to the races and all of this kind of stuff. So we do got some fun little fandazzlement stuff happening. You can see here, yeah, damn. Dun, 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 dun. Let me see here, Nvidia's. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, revenues increased 78% year over year. Data center revenue 93%. Blah 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 blah. Right, but muted reaction because everybody already kind of knows that it's like it's a grower, right? So it's been doing that, but people are looking for a little bit more. So muted reaction, is that really a surprise? No. Nvidia's been in a long-term topping pattern for a considerable amount of time, right? It's been lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, but also, right, this kind of big rounding patterns at the top. These are not really breakout patterns per se, right? They're longer term kind of topping patterns that you see often, right? That make a lot more sense, like after the fact, right? Like you see something like this, like, right, like AMF, right? Like you get like that huge run, and then you just slowly, right, top out where you hold on near highs like just enough to make people believe that you can kind of come back through, but they're really ignoring, right, the huge run that came in. And now you get this kind of like longer term highs, and you slowly break down, right? And that's kind of, dude, that is how these things work. And so when you come in, always just be a little bit mindful, right? When you come in, always be just a little bit mindful that, times change. The times have changed. And, old NVIDIA over here, it may need to, do a lot of other stuff. Hold on here 1 second. All right, hold on. Got locked out of something. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. So, what do we got to do on this? I'm not sure. Maybe it pops, maybe it doesn't. It's fairly muted, and I wouldn't even be surprised to see it, go on a little all day long trender. But wouldn't be surprised if it rolls red either. Like we don't really know because the way it's opening is right in the middle of range. So you can't really use any technical analysis when something is just stuck right in the middle of range, right? When you're just like hanging out in the middle of range, you're literally the penis in between us, right? There's nothing worse than being right in the kind of middle. So we'll see kind of what's going on. I'm not that keen on it. What we do need to do though is keep it as a proxy to see, hey, is there any juice, right? Is there any juice to any of this? Boom, 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 boom. All right. Well, let's get into the stocks that we got to watch and do all that kind of fun stuff here. Dun, 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 dun. All right, bam. Now let's go in. Let's take a look at the cues. You can see here, right? We got a little hanging Chad, right? You got breakdown, a hanging Chad. The key will be, can it hold over the previous days, right? Can it hold over the previous day's range or not, right? If it can, it's a buenos. If it can't, then it is what it is, right? We go back and we rework some things. If you look at SPY, right, we're nuzzled right against the 50-day moving average. Nothing crazy, right? Nothing crazy, but it's just right in the middle of range. This is not the environment where you were before, right? We're right in the middle of range. We've got this kind of fade the pops, buy extreme dips action. Hey, it is what it is. Once again, like it is not the time. It is not the time to be, really doing anything aggressive on the swing trading side. It is a great environment for day trading as long as you're not holding too long. So IWM, you can see here, right? Like this thing it's just got a little bit of a bear flag on it, frankly. I wouldn't be surprised to see, this little piggy, right? This little piggy take a turn today. I'm going to be, you may get a short on this. Like if the market starts to roll, watch this one. You can do some IWM puts. If it starts to break down these levels, it's easier if you can do it in a little bit of a pop. I think, 220, 216, 252 is kind of your kind of fib line resistance. We can look to take some puts on this bad boy. I think that could be something. Right on the spot, you're a little bit more into no man's land. Like you're holding support on a short term basis, but on a long term basis, right, you're stuck in really like a nasty spot. The best thing, like, so say you're an index trader, you trade futures, you trade options, or something along that end. If you're an index trader, the best trades are always going to be right when you break ranges and then you're hitting the dips within the range, right? So if you're using fibs or using moving averages, but like when you're trying to do all that stuff inside the ranges, you get a lot more, right? Inside the bigger picture ranges, you get a lot more cluttered. So you got to be careful with your entries and exits, or maybe not even do as much because that's all you got, right? Like when you're in the middle of range, your levels of probabilities go, they just go down significantly, right? So just kind of be mindful. Like we're just kind of in a weird spot here, but it all resolves itself at some point. And even if it doesn't, and you're like, all right, like we're just in for this kind of lengthy period of consolidation. Hey, that's the way it goes, baby. That's the way it goes. You'll still be making some chatter. So let's go in and roll in. Once again, I think on the indexes side, probably the IWM has got the clearest levels. If it breaks, if it remounts to 200, then it probably just comes back into this. So you don't necessarily know, but we're getting into it. We getting into it. Now let's take a look at the earnings plays because there's, besides Nvidia, I think Snow had earnings out today, and I think could be this could be something to play here. This is a little bit cleaner, at least in my head. You have a big range that's been setting up here that you're starting to take out, right? You've got a nice little doohickeys right there. Whew. This might even have some pent up demand on this thing, right? Because it's really been kind of stuck inside range for a period of time. Let's see how it reacts. Let's see how this thing reacts today. I'm going to add this to the watch list. Whoop. Now, beyond that, if you like small caps, Exun Lee, Exun Lee, fucking, let's get a. Hey, husband, what'd you spend all your money on? I bought a lot of shares of Exun Lee Limited. Right? And where'd our money go? Damn, that Exun Lee got me bad. Hey, if you like small caps, this thing is probably going to be moving around a little bit. Moving around a little bit pretty good. Let's roll with it, right? Let's roll with this. If you like the small caps, that's not my particular flavor. I'm a coffee man, not a tea man. Chunk. Yo, Red Robin still around? Hey, any of you 90s babies, right? Anybody roll at the Red Robin back in the day? Woohoo! That was a good spot. Man, if you went to Red Robin, it was like, you were like one class higher than the people that went to Applebee's. You go to Red Robin, you made it. Applebee's all right. Applebee's all right. But you go to Red Robin, man, your family, they probably got a little money, right? They might have, instead of a Hyundai, a little Honda, right? Us Indians, we only had the Toyota Corollas, And then when we came to the country, we only had the Corollas. Then as we became doctors and engineers, we moved to the Camrys, right? But we were never really stepped that far above those things. But man, you went to Red Robin. That was nice. For us, we just went to vegetarian Indian restaurants. It was the worst, and Pizza Hut buffet. Pizza Hut buffet. Remember Wendy's used to have a little buffet? They had like that salad bar, and you'd get one plate, and then you'd share it with your whole family because it's all you can eat. That was nice, right? That was nice. Man, we really did it right back then. Red Robin, man, I didn't even know. Yeah, you can't even be Indian if you don't got no Toyota Camry. Hey, Derry, how you doing? Zaman, what's up, baby? All right, let's go back to this. Hey, look at this NTNX. This, not that good of a trader, but you got to break out the all-time highs here. That, if it holds its first dip, this might actually be worth a little gander. Let's add this. If you didn't know this was Newtonex, hey, wait, yo, is Newtonex the fucking testosterone pills that you see on ESPN all the time? Ooh, take the Newtonex and you'll be like Frank Thomas. Damn. If they made it this high on that, that's pretty good. Let's add that. Mara, net income revenues rise. Look, so this is popping on earnings. This is popping on earnings, but look at the location of this, right? This is a nasty little location. Maybe it pushes through, but like that can't be the big priority. I'll keep an eye on it for us, but that's not really a copacetic. Chunk. Look at Amba. Amba's not bad either. See this? Wham. Big old honker of a base coming here if it ever breaks 100. Let's go to weekly chart here real quick. Yeah, sometimes you got to go weekly chart just to see the levels a little bit better. That's pretty good. Let's add that. Not a big priority because only 58,000 in volume. Aklo's popping. I don't even want to look at this, dude. I had so many of those 35 calls down here. I think I even sold them for a loss when it hit the VWAP and then rugged back. I got pissed and I just sold them. I think I got them for like 40, 50 cents too. Ain't that some shit? Dude. The setup was there, guys. You know these were the best bounce setups you're gonna see in a couple years. At least this year. Motherfucker. Ugh. I can't even look at it. I'm not putting it on the fucking list. Oh man, maybe it's got a PR out today. But whatever it is, I am very angry with this thing. I have a love-hate relationship with this damn stuff. ACO collaborates with US DOE, Oak Ridge National Laboratory. That was yesterday, so it's just in a bounce zone now. Bastard. This thing owes me money. Yo, it does look good. You can day trade it. I'm angry with it, so just leave me alone. Look at this VST rubber band setup, right? Low candle completely outside the lower Bollinger Band. Dude, that's like, you ever get that kind of setup where the candle's completely outside the lower Bollinger Band? You got yourself a good spot. Yeah, you got yourself a good spot. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it's in no man's land. Leave that alone. Somehow, no. Hey, look at this WBA. You're popping up on some earnings over here. Or market chatter. His stock sucks to trade. Fuck it. Junk. All right, cool. So I think I got a gander of what's going on here. So let's get this PLTR going today. Let's see if it can hang out over yesterday's lows. Guys, it's been a shit trader. It's been wicking and stuff like that. So trade it small and massage the balls on this thing. And you're going to have to sashay a little bit in and out. I think you'll have to. Yeah. If it starts to speed up and ride over the MAs, it'll be a little bit easier, but you'll have to massage the balls on this thing. Let's see on the downside if we got anything worthwhile here. Chunk. Yo, some of these type of names, see this thing right here? Like these you can short, right? This has got earnings out. You're going to it's already doing 800,000 shares in volume. If you like a little bit of a smaller name, like this is going to have probably some good range on it. Same thing with TNDM, because you're breaking down like all these kind of levels here. When you have something like that, you'll usually get yourself some a little bit of follow through. Look at this Payo, similar. Sweet greens, sweet baby greens. Damn, I never heard of no sweet greens. What goes on at Sweet Greens? What kind of action goes around at Sweet Greens? That's a nice name. This a restaurant? Never heard of it. Salads? The fuck? What do you mean, like lettuce? In a restaurant? You got to pay for that? Hell, what the? Damn, you guys are living high on the hog. You guys living high on the hog. You guys going to restaurants to get salads? I mean, damn. Give me some of your money. You can't just go to Kroger and grab some lettuce and eat it out of the bag? Damn. Go to a restaurant to get a salad? You can get that at a gas station, no? What are you, rabbits? Oh, man. That ain't no Red Robin, I'll tell you that. That ain't no Red Robin. Greens make me feel like shit, too. Junk. All right, cool. Let's get into this. Enough of all this nonsense. All right. Tesla down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row. My guess is it rolls red today, guys. My guess is it rolls red today. I want you to keep an eye on this 200-day moving average. We're not touching it till it gets closer there. This bounce today, it probably gets faded off. But what we do want to do, look, this was 366 a couple days ago. Let this thing grind into 280. At that point, you're basically retraced half the gain in all the Trump pump, right? Half the gain in all the Trump pump. You know the best thing, right? Everybody's like freaking out. They're like, Elon Musk's net worth has gone up so much since, he started doing this Doge, and it's like, oh, its fucking stock price been going down every day. The whole Trump pump has been given back. That's where the gap is, and so that's where we want to come in. Look, let me make this a little bit bigger here. That I think is going to be, see this? This is November 6th. This is the Trump pump right here. So we're getting right there, right? That was the low of the day. This is the close. Somewhere in here. And then that's also the 200-day moving average. Somewhere in there is going to be some buyers, all right? Retracing back to such a big level that started the whole run is pretty big. Now, the thing is, it ain't coming back to 500, guys. You have to base out for. You might have to base out for a damn year before, right? It could get the steam to go back up there. So if you're a Tesla fanboy, that's nice, but it would take a lot more, to get it back up there. But I'm talking about for bounce for 3 days, right? For bounce for 3 days, We can roll with that, right? We can roll with it. So let it roll red, and then, it probably will. If we need a short, I think, this AMD probably is right back into the resistance spot there too. Right? Google's got a little bear flag under the 200-day moving average. Hell yeah. Look at this Microsoft too. Rewatch and see if you get into that 406 and you need a fade, I think we can come in there. I think we can come in there. This is going to have a lot of resistance. I would say about 406 is like kind of the resistance, in the 15-minute chart, give or take. That's where your kind of fib resistance is too on the 15. That's usually the good spot for the retracement. Let's see if we pop into there. Yeah, and Apple's being a rundy right now. I don't think there's a play in that personally. Not that I see. Unless it just kind of zonks up a little bit, then we can try to refade it. But the one that looks like probably when we want to try to bounce is the old Palantir. Beyond that, dude, this is all just to basically, a hoot and nanny. Good. Hey, let's go back into this for a second. So, that fucking TC1000 been freezing like a motherfucker lately. There it goes. Mara earnings, NTNX, Snow, AMBA, VTRS on the downside. You could do TNDM also. Guys, beyond that, you want Meta, Hood for bouncers because they're bouncing off that 50-day moving average. All right? Possibly NBIS if the market can hold up. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, put in NVIDIA is a proxy. So you want to watch NVIDIA. You want to watch old NVIDIA, but it's a proxy, right? If we get a trade on it, great. But, the way it's just location is a little bit, I think, tricky. All right, let's go do what we do, which is the do